Assalamualaikum, and welcome to this video on computer basics and introduction to C++ programming. My name is Malik Muhammad Rahman Ahmed and I will be your guide throughout this video. In this video we will be covering the basics of computer, how they work, programming languages, binary languages, algorithms, and finally an introduction to C++ programming. So our first topic is what is a computer. A computer is an electronic device that can store, process, and communicate information. It is made up of hardware and software components. Hardware refers to the physical parts of the computer, such as keyboard, mouse, and central processing unit CPU. Software, on the other hand, refers to the programs and operating systems that run on the computer. Let us see the parts of the computer. Here is the main CPU of the computer. As you can see, there is a cooling fan, CPU, RAM, HD or SSD, motherboard, power supply, ports and connectors, and heat sinks. Our next topic is how does a computer works. Now that we know what a computer is, let's talk about how it works. A computer works by executing a series of instructions called programs, which are stored in its memory. The CPU, also known as the brain of the computer, executes these instructions one by one. This process works as follows. First of all, we will give input, that is, the user provide input to the computer through devices such as the keyboard and mouse. The second step is the processing, that is the processing, and the CPU process the input and executes the instructions. The third step is storage. The computer stores data and program in its memory. At last, there is output. The computer produces output such as text, images, and sound through devices such as the monitor and the speakers. Now let us talk about the languages of the computers. Computers understand one language, which is binary. As humans talk in some specific languages, in similar way, computer also need a specific language to perform its tasks. However, humans communicate with computers using programming languages such as C++, Java, Python, and many others. These languages are translated into binary code which the computer can understand. We will discuss about the binary language in detail further. As you can see, there are some examples of the programming languages as shown in figure: C++, C#, HTML, PHP, JavaScript, and etc. Next, programming languages are used to write programs, which are sets of instructions that a computer can execute. There are many types of programming languages, including procedural languages such as C and C++, object-oriented languages OOL such as Java and Python. There are also script languages such as JavaScript and PHP. Our next topic is binary languages. So, what is binary language? Binary language is most basic languages of computers, consisting of two digits 0 and 1. This binary system is used to represent information such as text, images, and numbers in a way that computer can understand. History of the binary. The concept of binary language dates back to the 17th century when the German mathematician Gottfried Wilhelm Leibniz developed the binary system. Leibniz recognized that binary system could be used to represent true or false values, which is fundamental principle of computer logic. In the 19th century, the English mathematician Charles Babbage designed the analytical engine, a mechanical computer that used binary code to perform calculations. Although the analytical engine was never built, Babbage's designs laid the foundation for modern computer architecture. In the 20th century, the development of electronic computers led to the widespread adoption of binary language. The first electronic computers such as ENIAC, electronic, numerical, integrator and commuter used binary code to perform calculations. Next we have how binary language works. Binary code is made up of bits which are basic units of information in computing. A bit can have only two values, 0 or 1. Then bytes, which are groups of bits, usually 8 bits made 1 byte, are used to represent characters, numbers, and other types of data. For example, the letter A is represented in binary as 0, 1, 1, 0, 0, 0, 0, 1. This binary code can be broken down into its individual bits as follows. For example, 0, the first bit represents the most significant bit, MSB of the byte. 1, the second bit represents the next significant bit, number 3, 1. The third bit represents the next most significant bit, number 4. The fourth bit represents the next most significant bit, number 5. The fifth bit represents the next most significant bit, and 0, the sixth bit represents the next most significant bit. The sixth bit represents the most significant bit. The seventh bit represents the least significant bit, LSB of the byte. The first one is representing the MSB, and the last one, the seventh one, is represented LSB. Now, let us talk about the importance of the binary language. Binary language is the foundation of the modern computing or computer programming languages, including high-level languages such as C++ and Java, are ultimately translated into binary code that the computer can execute. Understanding binary language is essential for computer programming, networking, and other technical fields. It provides a fundamental understanding of how computers work and they process information. Let us discuss it from the book point of view. Programming with the problem analysis coding execution cycle that uses a flowchart. Let us read it. Programming is a process of problem solving. Different people use different techniques to solve problems. Some techniques are nicely outlined and easy to follow. They not only solve the problem but also give insight how the solution is reached. The problem solving techniques can easily be modified if the domain of the problem changes. To be a good problem solver, a good programmer, you must follow good problem solving techniques. One common problem solving technique includes analyzing a problem, outlining the problem requirements, and designing steps called an algorithm to solve the problem. Algorithm is basically a step-by-step problem that is used solving process arrived at the finite amount of time. The problem solving process requires the following three steps: analyze the outline and then implement the algorithm, make the algorithm after the problem analysis such as C++ and verify the algorithm works. Number 3, maintain the program by using and modifying it if the problem domain changes. The figure shown below programming process. First we have the problem analysis, algorithm, design, coding, process, compiler. If the compiler is having an error, then we again go to the coding. The coding, we correct the error, then this process will occur, then no error, the linker, loader, execution. If there is error in the execution, then we will again in the coding or the algorithm design or analysis, there must be our problem. After all the assortment of the problems and errors, we will get our final results. As earlier in this chapter, we described the problem analysis, coding, and execution cycle. In this section, we gave various examples to illustrate the problem analysis and coding cycle. It must be pointed out that the problem analysis is the most important part of programming. Once you have analyzed the problem and written the necessary steps of the solution in your native language, then, as you will see throughout the text, writing C++ code to implement your solution is relatively easy. In addition, soon you will recognize that the steps of your solutions can be effectively translated into a C++ code. Furthermore, a good problem analysis will lead to a better and cleaner program. Even though we have not yet introduced the syntax of C++ to illustrate how to write a C++ code corresponding to the steps of your solution, let us consider the algorithm designed in example. Suppose length, width, parameter and area represents the length, width, perimeter and area of rectangle. Let us discuss the example. Here is the example 101. In this example, we design an algorithm to find the parameter and area of the rectangle. To find the perimeter and area of rectangle, you need to know that rectangle's length and width. The parameter and the rectangle are given by the following formulas. That is, parameter is equal to 2 into length plus width, and area is equal to length into width. So moving further, the algorithm to find the parameter and area of the triangle is as follows. Get the length of the rectangle, get the width of the rectangle, find the perimeter and find the area using the appropriate formula. Algorithm is a general point of view that we make. Algorithm basically is a analysis that we make to the algorithm is an analysis that we make for the sake of an argument to start and get a basic analysis or the basic overview of our code. Moving further, there were some steps of the algorithms. Let us read them. The steps were get the length of the rectangle, that is C in length, and get the width of rectangle, calculate the perimeter and calculate the area. These instructions are as it used in the C++ programs, so you can write it easily after making an analysis on the algorithm. Here C in stands for common input. Moving next, we have structured programming, object oriented programming, along with ISS standard of C++. Let us discuss about the structured programming. Dividing a problem into smaller sub-problems is called structured design. Each sub-problem is then analyzed and a solution is obtained to solve the sub-problem. The solution of all the sub-problems are then combined to solve the overall problem. The process of implementing a structured design is called structured programming. The structured designed approach is also known as top-down design, bottom-up design, stepwise refinement, and modular programming. Then we have WOD, is a widely used programming methodology. In WOD, the first step is the problem solving, that we first make an algorithm or a flowchart or anything to solve our problem, to identify the components called objects which form the basis of the solution, and to determine how these objects interact with one another. For example, suppose you want to write a program that automates the DVD rental process for a local DVD store. The two main objects in this problem are DVD and the customer. Then the data will read include movie name, year release, producer, production company, and number of copies. And the operation will be the checking the name of movie, checking the number of copies it's stored or rented, and incrementing the number of copies. Basically, in this project, in this topic, you will learn about the many advantages of WOD, and in further chapters, you will learn about the basic type of C++ and the programs and output results generated by a C++ program. Finally, to work with objects, you need to know how to combine data and operations on data into a single unit. In C++, the mechanism that allows you to combine data and operations on the data into a single unit is called a class. You will learn how classes work. Then we have then we have so Before going further, we will talk about the flowcharts, how they are important in the programming languages. So, this is a flowchart. A flowchart is a graphical representation of programming logic showing the steps and decisions involved in a problem. Flowcharts are standardized symbols to represent different actions and decisions. Here are following shapes such as oval that represents start and end, rectangle that show process or action, a diamond shape shows decision. Parallelogram is referred as input or output, and number 5 arrow tells us the flow and a direction. As you can see, the diamond shape, the rectangle shape, and the arrows are shown in the figure. As you can see here, the lamp does not work, lamp plugged in, and we have the condition no plug-in lamp, or yes, the bulb burned out. If bulb is burned out, yes, then replace bulb. If no, then repair lamp. So going next, we have the steps to create a flowchart and define the problem, identify the problem to be solved, then break down the problem, divide the problem into smaller manageable steps. As we have discussed in previous flowchart, draw the flowchart, use symbols to represent each step and decision. As we have already discussed about the symbols previously in this back slide. Test and refine. Review and refine the flowchart to ensure it accurately represents the solution. Here is a time chart iterator 0 and diamond shape, no, yes, arrows, exit, all the possibilities, errors, and etc. And at the end we have the output. Its iterator is 10,000, and then exit. Next we have benefits of flowcharts. One, visual representations. Flowcharts provide a clear visual representation of a program's logic, easy to understand. Flowcharts are easy to follow even for those without programming knowledge. Number 3, we have improved planning. Flowcharts help programmers plan and organize their code more effectively. At last, we have debugging. Flowcharts can aid in debugging by highlighting potential issues and errors. So, the flowcharts help us a lot in the problem solving and in the programming languages, as we can execute our the main plan before writing the code in the form of flowchart. Next, we have algorithms and problem solving. Algorithms and problem solving. An algorithm is a set of instructions that solve a specific problem. Algorithms are used in computer programming to perform tasks such as storing data, searching for information, and solving mathematical equations. There are many types of algorithms, including sorting algorithms such as bubble sort and quick sort, searching algorithms such as linear search and binary search. Algorithms are essential for problem solving in computer science. Moving further, we have Introduction to C++. Introduction to C++. Here is the logo of C++. So finally, let's introduce C++ programming. C++ is a high-level object-oriented programming language that is widely used in game development, system programming, and many other fields. C++ was developed by Bjorn Stroustrup at Bell Labs in 1980. It's an extension of C programming language and adds many features such as object-oriented programming, OOP, templates, and exception handling. C++ is a powerful language that is used in many applications including operating systems. C++ is used to make the OS systems for the computers or mobiles or etc. Games, nowadays the most of the games are digital, and they are created by using the C++ language. Web browsers, to make a website, the developer use the C++ language. And to store data of the companies or the any government organization, we use databases. So database is also made by using the C++ language. So that was pretty much it. Let us move to the conclusion. In this video, we have covered the basis of computers, how they work, programming languages, binary languages, algorithms, and introduction to C++ programming. I hope you have enjoyed this video and learned something new. Thank you for watching this video. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them in the section below. Don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel for more videos. Thank you. Your host Malik Rumman Malik, Air University, Islamabad. Thank you.